Our students. So we have been learning chapter number 4 of our syllabus, class 12 physics. Okay. So in the previous class we learned about Biot-Savart law. Okay. Usually pronounced as Biot-Savart law. Fine. Now as an application of Biot-Savart law, we have this content. Okay. To find the magnetic field at a point P, which is at a distance of x from a loop. Okay, so we'll try to find the magnetic field at point P, which is at a distance of x from the center of the loop. This loop is carrying a current I. You can see this is the direction of the current. Okay, and we need to find the magnetic field at this point on the axial line of this circular loop carrying current. Now we should know that when the current is flowing in this loop, then this IDL, a small portion of the loop, is considered to be a current element IDL, which is a vector quantity. Okay. Now the distance of P from this current element is R. Okay, this small r. Okay, this r. Now the radius of the circle along which the current is flowing is capital R. Okay, so let's consider that capital R is the radius of the circle. Okay, now we can imagine a number of such current elements when we divide this circular loop carrying current. Okay, so here I have located one such ideal just opposite to the upper one. Fine. Now let's go to the Biot-Savart law. Okay, so as per Biot-Savart law, we have the magnetic field dV, small magnetic field due to just this current element at a distance r from the current element. Okay, is given by dV equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. This is the formula of Biot-Savart law. Fine. Now we can see that the magnetic field involves a vector product between IDL and R. So this IDL is perpendicular to R. This IDL is perpendicular to R at every point on the circle. Fine. This is the tangent and this is the distance R. So if you can see, okay, so every point, at every point on the circle, that R, this R will be always perpendicular. That's why IDL cross R will just give us IDL R sine theta, theta being 90 degree between IDL and R will give IDL R only. IDL into 1, IDL R into 1 is IDL R only. Okay, so if we resolve that one, then we'll get it has been written here also, IDL is perpendicular to R at every point on the circle. That's why dV equal to this magnetic field dV is given by mu naught by 4 pi IDL R by R cube. So one of the three R's in the denominator we can cancel with the R present in the numerator. That's why this R gets cancelled one of the three R's in the denominator. So we will be left with only R square. Okay, now since this R square is nothing but R square plus X square. Okay, why? This is the hypotenuse. So as per the Pythagoras theorem, square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Okay, you can see this triangle. Fine, this is 90 degree. That's why this R square can be replaced by R square, capital R square plus X square. Okay, this R square plus X square will give us R square. That's why this R square can be replaced by this R square plus X square this way. Okay, so let's consider this equation as equation number 2. Now see since all dv perpendicular components, all the components which are perpendicular, okay, will get cancelled. What is the meaning of this one? Okay, now see, if you see here, ideal cross r, the magnitude of dv involves ideal cross r. Okay, you can put a magnitude, absolute value, okay, because the left hand side is having a scalar quantity and right hand side should also give us scalar quantity. Okay, so since dv will be directly proportional to ideal cross r, that's why the direction of the dv is given by this one. Why? Because this dotted triangle, okay, this dotted triangle include this dotted triangle contain this r and ideal. So we have the vector product between ideal and r. So ideal cross r, okay, so this way ideal cross r will be giving us the direction of the magnetic field at point P, this dv. Okay, so if you do like this, if you take a right hand screw rule, okay, this way right hand screw rule, if you rotate ideal towards r, then this will be the direction. Okay, so it is like opening the water tap. Okay, so if you rotate ideal towards r, you will be getting the direction of dv at point P. Now this dv, obviously, okay, it is little inclined with the x-axis, okay, this x-axis at an angle theta. Obviously this dv will be having two components, one called perpendicular component, this is dv perpendicular, and another one dv parallel. Okay, so there are dv perpendicular and dv parallel. Fine. Now why these two have been written and these two have been written here? Okay, so due to this element, the direction of magnetic field is this way. So just opposite, if you consider one of the current element just opposite to the upper one, you will be getting another magnetic field directed this way. That means this also will have a perpendicular component and a parallel component. Okay, let this be the parallel component of this one, and let this be the parallel component of this one. Right? So the perpendicular component of dv, the upper dv, will get cancelled by perpendicular component of dv just in the lower half. Okay, now such dv will be present, okay, due to all the current elements. There will be large number of dv perpendiculars which will get cancelled due to the presence of its opposite values, okay, opposite terms. That's why you have this dv parallel and this another dv parallel which will survive. Okay, that means all the perpendicular components will get cancelled and only the parallel components will survive. Okay, that's why they have been given the same direction. Now this dv perpendicular, okay, sorry, dv parallel is equal to dv cos theta. Obviously you know that the dv parallel is, okay, if this is the vector, then this is dv cos theta. dv parallel is equal to dv cos theta. So there are number of such dv parallel components or dv cos theta which will get added up to get the net value of dv at point P. That's why in order to get the magnetic field at point P, we'll have to integrate all the dv cos theta, dv parallel components. Okay? So what is dv parallel component? dv cos theta. So it can be written in vector notation as dv parallel equal to dvxi. dvx is, since magnetic field is along the x direction, that's why x has been written. I gives the direction. So since you have a vector on the left hand side, there has to be a vector on the right hand side as well. Okay, this I is the unit vector along x-axis. That's why dv parallel will be equal to dvxi. Okay, therefore the net magnetic field at point P is dvx. Okay, dvx this can be replaced by now dvx. Okay, so just let's take the magnitude only, okay, scalar value of dv as for now. So dvx will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl r square plus x square into cos theta, because this cos theta is, okay, dv is this much and dvx is dv cos theta, so dv cos theta is this much. Okay, so dv cos theta, okay, because the net value of dv is dv cos theta, so you will have to write cos theta also. Okay, so what is the value of cos theta again? Look at the diagram. Okay, this is the angle between r and capital R, small r and capital R. Okay, so which can be seen here as well. This is the same angle. Okay, so from this triangle you can find what is cos theta. What is cos theta? Cos theta is simply the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. Okay, b by s, base into hypotenuse. So if this is the angle of reference, obviously the side adjacent other than the hypotenuse is the base. That's why cos theta is capital R divided by the hypotenuse. Okay, so what is hypotenuse? R is the hypotenuse. Okay, the value of r square is r square plus x square as per Pythagoras theorem. So if you want to get the value of r only, you have to take the square root. Okay, on the right hand side. That's why we have the cos theta equal to capital R divided by small r. Okay, so capital R divided by small r. R square plus x square is the value of small r. You can see it from the diagram. Okay, so this square root can be written as the power of 1 by 2 on r square plus x square. Okay, so I've just replaced square root by power 1 by 2. Now if you put the value of cos theta, this much value of cos theta, in this equation, equation number 3, what will get? dv, okay, where it is written dv is equal to dv x. Okay, this dvx we start here previously in equation number 3. That's why dvx equal to mu naught by 4 pi as before I dl by r square plus x square, dot, it is not dot but just simply a product. Okay, and this cos theta, the value of cos theta from here. Okay, so just putting the value of cos theta here. Okay, so what will you get? Obviously r square plus x square has a power 1 here in the first term, and in the second term you have the power r square plus x square equal to 1 by 2. So if you add, since the bases are equal, okay, this bases are equal, the powers would be added up. Okay, that means the power get added up. So 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. That's why if I combine these two terms, what will I get? dv at point P, magnetic field at point P. Okay, I've given the vector notation also. This is simply dvxi. What is dvxi? dvxi is mu naught by 4 pi as before, whatever is written out there. Okay, this is in scalar form, this is in vector form. Okay, so dvx will be equal to dvxi. To give the direction to dvx, it will be mu naught by 4 pi idlr divided by r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2 with a unit vector along x direction I. The I caret gives the direction to this net magnetic field at point P. That means at P, the net magnetic field due to the circular loop is this much. Okay, so if, okay, as a special case, if this x is reduced, okay, this x is continuously reducing, we reach here. Okay, that means what will be the magnetic field dv at the center of the loop carrying current? And obviously we'll have to put the value of x equal to 0. If you put the value of x equal to 0, then you will be having r square plus 0 square. So we will be having r square to the power 3 by 2. So this 2 will get cancelled and you will be left in the denominator as r cube only. So with one of the 3 r's in the denominator, okay, this 3 becomes 2 and this r gets cancelled. So you will be left with dv x at the dv at the center of the loop, okay, here center of the loop will be simply dv equal to mu naught by 4 pi idl divided by r square, okay, obviously in the direction of I, this one. So I can write this as dbxi, okay, as this one, okay, at the center, at the center. So you can just refer your textbook page number 145, okay, to know all these things. The you can okay, no problem. As for now, we'll be going in bit finer details about the magnetic field at the center O of the current carrying loop in the next video. Fine, that's all. Thank you.